Okay, let's get into your reading, Cancer. There is a photo of you, and it is not sitting quietly in his phone. This person has taken a photo of you to a woman, shown it to her, held it up in front of her, deliberately, with intention. And what he says about you while she's looking at it is very, very strong, stronger than anything he has ever said to your face. And today, the cards are going to show you exactly what happened in that conversation. They are going to show you this woman. They are going to show you the reason he went to her. And they are going to show you every single word he did not want you to hear. Because this conversation was never supposed to reach you. It was supposed to stay in that room between him and her, sealed. But energy like that does not stay sealed. And today it opens. Drop a comment right now and say, I claim his confession. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe and turn on that notification bell. Okay, let's go all the way in. And before we touch the cards, I want to say something. Some of you have felt completely invisible to this person. Like you barely crossed their mind. Like whatever you had or whatever you have lives more in your head than in theirs. And this reading is going to turn that feeling completely upside down. Because while you were wondering if they ever think about you, they were carrying your photo to another person and speaking about you in a way that made that woman stop what she was doing and listen. So if you came into this reading feeling forgotten, feeling like an afterthought in this person's life, I need you to set that feeling down at the door, because what the cards are about to show you is the exact opposite of forgotten. You are quite literally the conversation he cannot stop having. Okay, one oracle card for the energy. He speaks about you more powerfully behind your back than he has ever dared to speak to your face. And your guides led with this because it is the entire heart of this reading. This person carries feelings for you that are far too big for the conversations you two actually have. Whatever you've experienced from him directly, the guardedness, the mixed signals, the silences, the careful surface level talk, none of that is the real measure of what he feels. The real measure came out in a room you were not in front of a woman he trusts, with your photo between them. And I want you to understand why it happened that way. Because for some people, especially this person, saying something enormous directly to the person it's about feels impossible. The feelings are too heavy to hand to you directly, so they hand them to someone safe first, someone who won't change anything by knowing, someone who can hold the confession without the confession costing him anything. But here's what he didn't count on. The universe does not let confessions like that stay in one room. Energy moves, truth moves. And today it has moved all the way to you. And I want to add one more layer to this oracle card before we open the spread. The fact that he needed a witness tells you something enormous about the size of what he feels. Small feelings don't need witnesses. You don't take a photo of someone to another person to talk about a passing interest. You do that when something has grown so large inside you that carrying it alone has become physically exhausting. That is where he was when he walked into that room, at the absolute limit of carrying this alone. The Lovers, the Hierophant, the Queen of Cups, the King of Cups, the Knight of Wands, the Six of Cups, the Two of Cups, the Moon, the Eight of Wands, the Wheel of Fortune, the Star, the Four of Wands, the Ten of Cups, the Page of Cups, the Sun, the World. 16 cards. And I want to take unhurried time with every single one, because together they reconstruct that entire conversation, the Lovers first. And this card leading the spread tells us the subject of that conversation immediately. This was not a casual mention of you. This was not your name coming up in passing. The Lovers is a card of profound choice, of two paths, of someone standing at a crossroads with their whole heart involved. When he brought your photo to this woman, he brought it as a person standing at that crossroads. This conversation was about a decision, a real one, about you, about what he does next with everything he feels. And the Lovers carries one more layer here. This card is also about alignment, about a person's values and desires finally pointing the same direction. For a long time, his head and his heart have been arguing about you. The head saying, be careful, be practical, protect yourself. The heart saying her, just her. And the Lovers appearing first in this spread tells us the argument is ending, and the heart is winning, and the Hierophant. And this card reveals the woman herself. The Hierophant is tradition, counsel, guidance, someone whose blessing actually matters. This is not a romantic rival. I need you to hear that clearly because I know where some of your minds went the moment you read this title. This woman is not competition. This is a woman whose opinion he deeply trusts. For some of you, this is his mother. For some of you, a grandmother, an aunt, a sister, a close family friend who has known him his whole life. And for some of you, this is a spiritual woman, an advisor, someone he quietly went to the way you quietly came here. The Hierophant tells us he went to her the way people go to someone when they need to say something sacred out loud for the first time. And think about what that means. Of all the people in his life, all the friends he could have joked about this with, he chose the one woman whose opinion he cannot dismiss. He chose the person whose answer would actually matter. That is not how people treat casual feelings. That is how people treat the thing they are about to build their life around. And the Queen of Cups. And this is her. This is the woman herself. And this card tells us how she received it. The Queen of Cups is deep emotional wisdom, compassion, someone who listens beneath the words. She did not laugh at him. She did not brush it off. She looked at your photo, and she looked at him, and she understood immediately that what she was witnessing was not casual. Your guides are showing me her presence in that moment. Calm, warm, fully attentive. She asked him questions, gentle ones, the kind that open a person up rather than shutting them down. And your guides are showing me one more thing about her. She studied your photo for a long moment, longer than politeness required, because she was not just looking at a face. She was looking at the person who had done this to him, the person who had reached something in him that she may have believed nobody would ever reach. And there was respect in how she looked at that photo. Quiet, genuine respect. And the King of Cups. And this is him in that room. And I want you to see this clearly because it may be a version of him you have never met. The King of Cups is emotional depth under control, feeling expressed with maturity in front of this woman. With your photo there, he dropped the guard. The version of him that plays it cool with you, the version that keeps things light and unreadable, that version stayed outside the door. In that room, he spoke like a man who has been holding something heavy for a long time and finally set it down. And your guides want you to sit with that image because it answers something you have wondered about for a long time. You have wondered whether there is real depth under his surface. The King of Cups is your answer. There is an entire ocean under that surface, and it has your name moving through all of it. And the Knight of Wands. And this is the energy of what he actually said, because the Knight of Wands does not speak in lukewarm language. This card is fire, passion, declaration. Whatever the exact words were, the energy behind them was strong. Your guides are showing me phrases with real heat in them. This is not somebody I can just forget. There is something about her I have never found anywhere else. I have tried to let this go and I cannot. That is the temperature of what came out of him. And the woman heard it exactly as strongly as it was meant. And here's what makes this even more powerful. This is not a person who talks like that. The people who know him would tell you he keeps things close, measured, controlled. So when words with that much fire came out of him, the woman knew instantly she was hearing something he had never said to anyone. And the Six of Cups. And this tells us what he was holding while he spoke. Memories, specific ones. The Six of Cups is nostalgia, sweetness from the past, moments revisited. While your photo sat in front of that woman, he was telling her about moments, small ones you might not even remember the same way. A particular day, a particular thing you said, the way you laughed at something. A moment where you were kind to him in a way nobody else had been. He has kept those moments the way people keep photographs, which is exactly why he had your photo at all. And I want you to notice something about this. The moments he treasures are not the polished ones, not the moments you were trying to impress anyone. They are the unguarded ones, the moments you were simply completely yourself. That is what he fell for, not a performance, the real you. And the Two of Cups. And this is what he believes about the two of you, underneath everything. The Two of Cups is mutual connection, two people meeting as equals. Something real flowing both directions. When he spoke to this woman, he did not describe you as someone he admires from a distance. He described a connection, a bond, something he believes exists between you even through the distance, even through the silence, even through everything that has made you doubt it exists at all. And your guides want to pause here, because some of you have spent months convincing yourself the connection was one-sided, that you invented it, that you felt something he never felt. The Two of Cups, sitting in the middle of his confession, is the cards telling you directly it was never one-sided, not for a single day, and the moon. And this is the reason you have not heard any of this from him directly. The moon is what stays hidden, fears beneath the surface. And his fear is very specific. He is afraid that if he brings this to you directly and it goes wrong, he loses you entirely. The photo, the woman, the confession, all of it was him trying to release the pressure without taking the risk. The moon also tells us there are things about his situation, his circumstances, his own past, that he feels he needs to resolve before he can come to you properly. And this is important context for the silence you have lived through. His quiet was never emptiness, it was pressure. A person holding something enormous behind a wall and telling himself the wall is protection. But walls like that always crack. And the conversation with that woman was the first crack. And the Eight of Wands, and this is the card that changes everything about the timing. The Eight of Wands is speed, movement, messages in flight, communication rushing toward its destination. Whatever has been slow about this situation, whatever has felt stalled or frozen or endlessly delayed, the Eight of Wands says that phase is ending. The conversation he had with that woman loosened something in him. Saying it out loud made it real. And once something like that becomes real, it starts moving toward the person it belongs to. The Eight of Wands never shows up in stuck readings. It shows up when the delay is over, when whatever was blocking the road has been cleared and everything that was waiting begins to move at once. That is the phase the situation has just entered, and the Wheel of Fortune. And this confirms it from another angle. The wheel turns whether anyone is ready or not. This situation has entered a new rotation. The version of things where he silently carries this and you silently wonder, that version is closing. The wheel is lifting this whole situation into its next phase. And you have already felt this. Something in the air around this connection has changed recently. You couldn't name it, but you felt the shift. That was the wheel beginning to turn and the star. And this is for you specifically. Every quiet hope you have held about this person, every moment you sensed there was more underneath his surface and then talked yourself out of it. The star is your vindication. You were not imagining it. Your intuition read him correctly the entire time. And the star appearing right here, right after the cards that revealed his confession, is your guide saying plainly, you were right. And there is healing in that alone. Because doubting your own perception is exhausting. Wondering if you are seeing things that are not there, feeling things alone that were supposed to be shared. The star washes all of that clean. You saw correctly. You felt correctly. And now you know it. And the Four of Wands. And this is where the energy is heading. The Four of Wands is celebration, homecoming, something being established on solid ground. This is not a card of almost. This is a card of arrival. What he confessed to that woman does not stay a confession forever. It becomes something built, something real, something the two of you stand inside of together. And the Four of Wands sitting this deep in the spread matters. Because it means the confession was not the peak of this story. It was the doorway. What he said to that woman was him standing at the entrance of everything this card shows. And the Ten of Cups. And this is the full picture of what he actually wants with you. Because this card tells us the confession was not about attraction. The Ten of Cups is the complete emotional dream. Lasting happiness. A real life built with someone. When he showed your photo to that woman, the future he described was not a fling. It was this card. The whole thing. The real thing. And your guides want to be precise here, because this matters. The way he described you to that woman was not the way men describe someone they want briefly. It was the way men describe someone they are trying to figure out how to keep. And the Page of Cups, and this is the message itself. The Page of Cups is the messenger of the suit of love. An emotional offering arriving, often unexpectedly. Something is coming toward you from him. A message, a gesture, an opening. It may start small, almost shy, the way pages always are. But behind that small opening is everything the cards just showed you. So when something small arrives from him, a message, a reaction, a reappearance, do not judge it by its size. Judge it by what you now know stands behind it. And the sun. And this is what it feels like when the hidden becomes visible. The sun takes everything the moon was hiding and floods it with light. Clarity is coming to this situation. Warmth. The specific joy of finally understanding what was real all along. And the sun does not appear in readings heading somewhere complicated. It appears when something genuinely, uncomplicatedly good is on its way. Warmth without fine print. Joy without a catch. And the world. And this closes the spread on completion. A long chapter of hiddenness, silence, and wondering is genuinely completing. And what opens after it is not a repeat of the old confusion. It is a genuinely new chapter built on what is now out in the open. The world only closes spreads where something significant is completing. And what is completing here is the era of not knowing. Whatever comes next, you will never again wonder whether you crossed his mind. Okay. Message cards straight from the deck, and these are going to reconstruct pieces of that conversation. First message card. She told him you should be saying this to her, and he went quiet. And your guides are showing me this exact beat in the conversation. The woman holding your photo said the obvious thing, you should be saying this to her, not to me. And he went quiet because he did not have a good answer, only a true one. And the true one is fear. Fear of losing what little he still has of you by reaching for all of it. And the woman let the silence sit. She did not rescue him from it because she understood that his silence was answering her question more honestly than words would have. Next message card. There's nobody like her, those words, almost exactly. And this is the strongest thing he said. Your guides are showing it to me with real weight. There is nobody like her. He has compared, not deliberately, but every person who has crossed his path has been quietly measured against you, and every single one came up short. And he told her that too, not in a dramatic way, in a tired way, the way someone admits something they have fought against. I keep trying to find it somewhere else, and it is not anywhere else. Hold those words, because they are the closest thing to the exact truth of him that this reading can hand you. Next message card. He keeps that photo somewhere he can find it easily, and your guides want you to know this detail. The photo he showed her was not something he had to dig for. It was close, easy to reach, because he looks at it more often than he would ever admit. And your guides are showing me the specific moments he reaches for it. Late, when the day has gone quiet, after something good happens that he wishes he could tell you about, after something hard happens and yours is the presence he wishes were there. Next message card. The woman gave him her blessing, and something she said stayed with him, and this matters enormously. Because he went to her partly for permission to feel what he feels, permission to act on it, and she gave it. Your guides are showing me her saying something simple and piercing. Something like, if she is what you say she is, you will regret every day you wasted. And that sentence has been living in his head ever since, because she is right and he knows it. Every day of distance is a day he cannot get back. And a man who has been given a blessing and a warning in the same sentence does not sit still forever. Next message card. He talked about a specific moment with you, one you might not even realize mattered, and your guides are showing me him recounting a memory to her in detail. A small moment, something you did or said that you probably filed away as nothing, but he described it to this woman the way people describe turning points. That was the moment, he told her. That was when I knew. And your guides will not show me the exact moment because it belongs to him to tell you, but they want you to know it exists. A specific ordinary moment where you were simply being you and something in him permanently changed. One day, when he tells you himself, you will realize you remember it too. Next message card. I'm scared she doesn't see me that way. And here is the confession inside the confession. All of this strength, all of this passion in how he speaks about you, sits on top of one fragile uncertainty. He does not know whether you feel it too. He genuinely does not know. Whatever signals you think you have sent him, they have not landed with the certainty you assumed. He is as unsure of you as you have been of him. Two people, both feeling something real, both convinced the other one does not. The cards see this pattern all the time, and it always breaks the same way. One person finally finds the courage, and this reading says he is the one finding it. The confession to that woman was the rehearsal. The real performance has your name on it. Next message card. Since that conversation, he checks your world more than before. And your guides are showing me increased quiet attention, your photos, your updates, the small windows into your life that he can reach without announcing himself. Since he said it all out loud to that woman, the feelings have not calmed down. They have sharpened. Speaking a thing out loud gives it edges. Before that conversation, this was a fog he lived inside. Now it is a fact he carries, and facts demand decisions in a way fog never does. He is living with that demand right now. Next message card. What he says about your character, not your face, is the strongest part. And I love that this card came through. Because yes, there is attraction here, real attraction. But when he had your photo in front of that woman, the things he praised hardest were not physical. Your kindness, your strength, the way you carry yourself through things that would flatten other people, the way you treat people when nothing is in it for you. He sees your character clearly, and that is what he cannot find anywhere else. And your guides want you to receive this part fully, because the world praises surfaces, and you have probably wondered if anyone truly sees the deeper things you carry. He does. He named them out loud to another person. With your photo in her hands, you are seen fully, deeply, exactly as you are. Next message card. The woman may cross your path and she will already know who you are. And this is a beautiful detail your guides included. Some of you will meet this woman at a gathering, an event, an introduction that feels casual on the surface, and she will greet you with a warmth that feels strangely familiar, a recognition you cannot quite place, because she has already seen your face. She has already heard the strongest words anyone has ever spoken about you. Next message card. What changes in him after the confession, the readiness building? And your guides are showing me the internal aftermath. Since that conversation, something in him has been reorganizing. Priorities shifting quietly. Loose ends in his life being gathered up. The specific behavior of a person preparing to show up for something that matters. He is not just feeling more. He is getting ready. And readiness in a person like him is quiet. You will not see announcements. You will simply notice one day that the distance has started closing. And the last message card. You hearing all of this and staying grounded in your own worth. And your guides ended here deliberately, because this reading could send you spinning, checking your phone, rereading old messages, waiting. And that is not what this is for. This reading is confirmation, not an assignment. You now know what is real on his side. Your only job is to keep being the person that made a man carry your photo to a woman he trusts. You did that without trying, without performing, without chasing, just by being exactly who you are. So the strategy going forward is the same strategy that got you here. None at all. You already won this by being yourself. Okay, before the final message, your guides want you holding 3 things practically. The first, you do not need to act on this reading. You do not need to reach out, drop hints, or test him. The 8 of Wands and the Page of Cups made it clear movement is coming from his side. The confession loosened something. Let it finish loosening. A thing set in motion by truth does not need your hands on it. It needs your patience. And patience is not passive. It is the active choice to trust what you now know. The second, when he does come forward, it may start smaller than what the cards showed you today. A simple message, something almost casual. Do not measure that first small step against the size of the confession. The confession is the iceberg. The first message is just the tip breaking the surface. Receive the small thing, knowing what sits underneath it. Because that first message will be him testing the water with one toe while the whole ocean of what he confessed waits behind him. Meet the toe in the water with warmth, and the ocean follows. And the third, stay grounded in your own life. The version of you that hears this and keeps living fully, keeps growing, keeps pouring into your own world, that is the version of you he described to that woman. Do not trade her for a version that sits and waits. Your fullness is not just attractive to him, it is the foundation of everything good that could come from this. Two whole people meeting is a completely different story than one person waiting and one person arriving. Be the whole person. Let him arrive to someone fully alive. And I want to explain one more thing before the final message. The reason this is reaching you now, the reason it found you today, this reading, this exact moment, and your guides are clear about it. You needed to know before he arrives. Because if he came forward while you still believed you were invisible to him, you might have met his opening with doubt, guardedness, the exact energy that could make a fearful man retreat. But now you know what sits behind whatever comes. Now, when the small message arrives, you will recognize it for what it is. The tip of a confession, strong enough that a woman holding your photo stopped and listened. This reading reached you now, so that when the moment comes, you meet it, knowing. Okay, final message from your guides. Just one. What was spoken in that room is already traveling toward you. Stay open and let it arrive. What was spoken in that room is already traveling toward you. That is the message. The confession exists now. It is out of his chest and into the world. And things that are spoken with that much strength do not stay still. The lovers showed the decision. The Knight of Wands showed the fire in his words. The Eight of Wands showed the speed gathering. The Page of Cups showed the message forming. Stay open, stay grounded, and let what is already moving finish its journey to you. You have carried enough uncertainty in this connection. Let this be the day you set it down. Not because everything is finished, but because you finally know what has been true the whole time. Okay, to bring this home, this person took a photo of you to a woman, and what he said about you was very strong, and the cards showed us everything. The Oracle card confirmed he speaks about you more powerfully behind your back than he has ever dared to speak to your face. The lover showed this conversation was about a real decision made at a real crossroads with his whole heart involved. The Hierophant showed the woman not a rival but a trusted figure, a mother, a grandmother, an advisor, someone whose blessing carries real weight. The Queen of Cups showed how she received it with warmth, with depth, with complete attention. The King of Cups showed him dropping the guard and speaking with a maturity you have never been allowed to see. The Knight of Wands showed the fire in his words. There is nobody like her. I have tried to let this go and I cannot. The Six of Cups showed the specific memories he carries and recounted to her. The Two of Cups showed he believes in a real bond between you. The Moon showed the fear that has kept all of this hidden from you. The Eight of Wands showed the speed now gathering behind this situation. The Wheel of Fortune showed the whole situation turning into its next phase. The Star confirmed your intuition. Read him right the entire time. The Four of Wands showed where this is heading, arrival, celebration, solid ground. The Ten of Cups showed what he actually wants with you is the complete picture, not a fraction of it. The Page of Cups showed a message already forming. The Sun showed the hidden becoming visible. And the World closed the spread on a chapter of silence, genuinely completing. The message cards reconstructed the room. Her telling him you should be saying this to her, and his silence. There is nobody like her, his strongest words. The photo kept close and reached for easily, her blessing, and the sentence that has lived in his head since. The specific moment with you he described as the moment he knew, his fear that you do not see him that way, the sharpened attention on your world ever since, the truth that what he praises hardest is your character, and you receiving all of it while staying grounded in your own worth. One message. What was spoken in that room is already traveling toward you. Stay open, stay grounded, and let it arrive. Claim this loves. Drop a comment and say, I claim his confession and I stay grounded in my worth. Because every word of that is true. Save this, come back and tell me what happened when it arrived. If this resonated, please give this video a thumbs up. Drop a comment and tell me what hit hardest. And if you're not subscribed yet, please subscribe and turn on that notification bell. Take care of yourself. Bye, loves.